Hey everyone, Michael from elevaite365 here. Today I'm doing a quick guide on the new loop command, focusing on the field occurrence method. The loop command allows you to iterate over every occurrence of a certain UI element on the page. This is very useful for things like tables. We've got an unknown amount of rows. We can add a loop by clicking plus to our test, selecting loop, and you'll see we get three options here, or three loop types. Field occurrence, number, Excel/CSV. I'll be focusing on field occurrence for this video. Field occurrence just means an occurrence of a field, like a row, a column in a row, or maybe a card on the interface. We can select that by coming to the field label, pressing the magic wand, giving it a few seconds to start up. And then we can go ahead and select the field that we want to iterate over or loop over. In this case, I want to validate the vendor hold field of every row. Okay, that's now selected. And we can also see at the bottom here, we've got a limit. So if you want to set a limit for how many loop iterations there are, then you can change that there. For now, I'm just going to leave it at 30. Let's close this, and we can see our loop command is here. Below that is a section where we can add steps that get run for each iteration of the loop. In this case, I want to verify that every row has the value no. Add a verify field, double click into that new step, and we've got a few options here. So for the field label, normally you would use the wand to select the field. In my case, I just want it to use the current iteration. So if we click on advanced options, we can see the current one just inherits from the loop, meaning every iteration of the loop, it's going to point to this field, this field, this field, this field, etc. So the first iteration of the loop will point to the first one, second iteration will point to the second one. So I can just leave this as is. I will just rename it so it makes more sense. And then we can set the two verification types. So visibility is present is fine and should contain is good enough for us. Let's change the value to be no and O. Close that. And now you'll see that our verification is part of the loop step. We can add as many steps as we like within this loop. In my case, I just want to demo it, so I'm just going to add one. Let's go ahead and run it by right-clicking, select run, run step. Okay, so you can see it's detected 18 rows and it's just going through all of them one by one. It's going through them super fast. Probably should have added maybe a delay or something so we could actually see it. Selecting the fields, you can see on the right it does appear like it's skipping over some of them, but that's just because it's running so fast it's not actually skipping over. If we run that again just with a wait condition, now we'll be able to see that firsthand. Let's add 500 or half a second of delay and just right click, run step. Okay, you can see again it's found 18 and it's just iterating over every single one of them here. If any of them had the value yes or anything other than no, in this case it would fail on that iteration. Perfect. So what we can also do to take this a step further is we can add a conditional to this verification. Add conditional, which basically means if it has a value no, it'll go into this true branch. If it has a value anything other than no, then it'll go into the false branch. So let's go into the true branch and add a step. And you can see for the loop command, we get two additional steps at the top here, break and skip. Skip just means that it goes to the next iteration of the loop, So this won't get run. Break will actually break out of the loop. So in this case, if I add break, it will run the first iteration, verify if vendor hold row has the value no, sorry, this one here. It does, so it will go to the true branch, and then it should break and enter the test. Let's give that a go. There we go. So it did one iteration, and then it broke out of the loop. If we want to change that to maybe be skip, let's try this. That one. Let's change the actual delay here to 5 seconds so it's noticeable. Okay, so when I run this now, on the first iteration, it's going to come into the true branch, and it's going to skip to the next iteration here, meaning this step here, the wait 5 seconds, should not get run. Right click, run step. There we go. So you can see it's just spamming through every single one of them, and it's not waiting for anything. Great. So in the next 2 videos, I'll be showing the other loop types, but I hope this is useful. Reach out to our team if you have any questions.